later. So if I move a bit further in my presentation, Life Clean Energy Transition is a program that is supporting on the ground the implementation of EU energy policy and the different directives and initiatives that are active at the moment. So in the context of the Green Deal and the objectives for decarbonization, in the last years, most of the directives that are related to energy were revised, and the targets were set higher for renewable energy, for energy efficiency, also for energy performance of buildings directive. So all the directives were revised to meet this new ambition and these new targets, and member states will need to transpose this directive and implement these provisions on the ground. And also more recently, the Commission has also published the Clean Industrial Deal, which is competitiveness-driven policy to decarbonize industries in Europe while ensuring affordable energy prices to be competitive on a global scale. So the program this year has a topic also supporting industry policy, the Clean Industrial Deal, and also the Net Zero Industry Act, which focuses on manufacturing of clean energy technologies in Europe. So the program, the Life CET program, works under this umbrella of initiatives, and it aims to support all actors on the ground in implementing this directive and initiatives. And the main focus is on breaking market, regulatory, and governance barriers that hamper the transition to sustainable energy in Europe. So on this slide, you can see some of the key segments and key sectors in which the program operates. We work on mobilizing investments, in particular through technical assistance facilities for project developers, or building renovation one-stop shop services, or innovative financing schemes. I will explain this in a bit more detail later. We also support accelerating the rollout of clean energy transition technology and services, while boosting professional skills in key segments of the energy transition, such as industry, services, products, buildings, and heating and cooling. And we also work on involving and empowering citizens in the clean energy transition through, for example, energy communities, or paying attention to a just transition, addressing in particular vulnerable households and energy poverty. And finally, the program also aims at creating an enabling policy framework. So it supports policy development and implementation at all levels. At national level, it provides national authorities with technical assistance to implement the directives, but also through capacity building for our cities and regions. So three key important messages for you to remember. It's strong policy implementation, also a large geographical reach. So not in all topics, but in most topics of the call, the project teams are expected to work across the EU, so covering a wide range of countries and regions. There are some specific topics that can work only at the national level, but this is only a few. In general, the consortiums are quite covering a wide number of countries. And we also look for innovation and replication. So we put significant emphasis on supporting innovative solutions and services and deploying this in the market, and on replicating successful initiatives and approaches to really maximize the impact of our program. Now, what the program does not support is also important for you to know. And this is research activities or the development and demonstration of technology. So this is more the focus of Horizon Europe, the Innovation Fund, or even other parts of LIFE. In LIFE CET, for example, we don't fund costs for equipment or for infrastructure. We focus on this program on this type of barriers that are not necessarily technical, but that are really fundamental for the market uptake of solutions and business models. So in our projects, the budget is mostly personal costs and services. And in terms of how the program works, we have defined main general intervention areas in which we operate. So these are set for multiple years, at the moment for the next 3 years. And they define the areas in which the LIFE CET program can be active over time. So these areas I already mentioned before are building national, regional, and local policy framework, accelerating the rollout of new services, business models, also including digitalization, and paying attention to professional skills. We also work on attracting private finance for sustainable energy and mobilizing investments for local and regional projects, and as I mentioned before, involving and empowering citizens. So these main 5 overarching areas are translated every year into specific topics that cover specific themes. And this is where you can apply. I will present now the topics that are open this year, which are 12. And besides topics where you can apply with proposals, we also have some strategic tenders in some key policy areas, but this is a bit more targeted. What's important is that we have a number of policy initiatives where we feed the results of all the projects. So the projects funded under the LIFE CET program get as well a lot of visibility in different sort of policy initiatives. So for the call this year, as I said, the deadline is 23rd of September. We have 12 topics open. You can see here on the right the list of topics and the budget earmarked for each of them. This is actually a screenshot from the call document, so you can find this information there. And in the topic text for each topic, you will also find an indication on the budget that we expect proposals to have, even if this is not mandatory, but you have more or less the idea of how many proposals we intend to fund under each topic. And the topics are quite prescriptive on what we want to see in the proposals. So if you're interested in a particular topic, I recommend that you really read very carefully the text. Most funded topics ask in the consortium for a minimum of 3 eligible entities from 3 different eligible countries, even if usually the average number of partners in consortia are higher. And as I said before, there are a few exceptions. I think it's maybe 2 or 3 topics that will allow submission of national proposals, but this you will find in the topic text. We co-fund 95% of the project's eligible costs in LIFE CET. This is also different from other parts of the LIFE program. And applications are, as usual, via the funding and tenders portal. And I think I can start now with the topics that we have open under this call this year. So I will start with the first group that we have of 2 topics that aim at building national, regional, and local policy frameworks supporting the clean energy transition. So these topics are promoting the policy support at all levels. And the first topic, so we identify each topic with this identifier that you see at the beginning, so Live 2025 CET, and then a keyword, let's say, that guides you on what the topic is about. So the first one is local, and this topic is dedicated to cities and regions to support their efforts in delivering and implementing their clean energy transition plans and strategies. And the topic has two scopes that are open this year, and proposals are asked to focus on one of those two scopes. And one is the implementation of integrated decarbonization plans. So this is for policymakers and public officers to develop specific skills, approaches, and know-how, and to be able to, or better equipped to decide and deliver on energy measures on the ground. So activities here could include, for example, setting up the relevant structures, establishing peer-to-peer approaches to share knowledge and best practices, delivering capacity building programs, but these need to be in-depth, comprehensive programs, and not only very light, superficial information materials, let's say. This is not what we are looking for, but really public officers that are well equipped to deal with files related to the clean energy transition. And the proposals can also support developments or evolutions in the regulatory framework that would allow a deployment of clean energy transition technologies. And the second scope is supporting specifically the development of local heating and cooling plants. So the Energy Efficiency Directive, in its Article 25, it has a requirement for all municipalities above a certain population size to present a local and heating plan. So here we aim to really support these municipalities in developing these plans. And proposals here should indeed provide cities and regional authorities with support to develop methodologies, templates, blueprints, and strategies for the preparation of these plans. And so the proposals could, or the projects could help in building skills, in facilitating access to relevant data that may be needed, in developing comprehensive outlooks or mapping energy demand and supply, but also on finding avenues for the phase out of fossil gas and engaging market participants, let's say, in the process. And we are also looking here into bundling joint efforts of municipalities, so different municipalities working together on this or being addressed together, so we can, or projects can maximize the efforts. And the second topic, it's policy, which is a bit more specific because it supports authorities at national level in the implementation of legislation. So this year, the topic is open for the implementation of the Renewable Energy Directive. So proposals should specifically target the public authorities that are in charge of implementing this directive. And we ask here also proposals to focus on two main areas. They need to choose one. So one of the areas that we want to support is permit granting procedures and renewable energy acceleration areas. So to speed up and streamline these aspects. And the second area relates to information and training of installers and designers of selected renewable energy technologies. So this is also supporting a specific article in the directive. And here proposals should work across sectors, assessing gaps, needs, and trying to have member states, or to support member states in collaborating on mutual recognition for mobility of workers, for example. And it's really structural policy work. So to set a framework to ensure that there is sufficient qualified workforce. And I will move on now from pure policy support to mobilizing investment at local and regional level. So here we have also two topics. The first one, it's OSS, which stands for One-Stop Shop, a very popular acronym in these last years. So here we are addressing the need of renovating the European building stock. So this topic is really on buildings. And here we want to provide support for setting up one-stop shops, which are designed to remove barriers and to provide integrated services for private homes, condominiums, large rental units that really need support on how to approach the building energy renovation. So these services should they have been working for a while. We have this topic open for many years. So we have supported projects in many countries and regions, including also in Slovenia. And they have proven really an effective solution to support actors in the market. We don't refer here also to very light support. We are really looking into integrated full support services. So from the first building audits to directions on financial solutions, including also coordination and supervision of the technical work. Here we have two scopes as well. Well, we have three actually, but we have two scopes working purely on the services, let's say. In the residential sector. So one scope is for individual homeowners, and the other scope is for professional owners of rented houses. So these are the two market sectors that we are supporting this year. And then there is a third scope, which is also very specific, is for the continuation of the EU community of practitioners that we have ongoing, bringing together all these one-stop shops projects that are running in Europe. So this initiative is called EU Peers. And if you intend to prepare a proposal for this topic, I would really recommend that you check and you link to this initiative, because there's a lot of useful information that you will need to build on. And then moving to the next topic, which is has the keyword PDA, which stands for Project Development Assistance. Here we fund or we are seeking to fund proposals that provide technical assistance to help public and private project developers in all their practical steps to build and launch concrete investment pipelines. So this is also a successful strand of our program, with more than 60 initiatives supported so far. And these projects, the great majority of them have delivered in their investments, and they have even triggered deeper regulatory or structural changes in their sector or in their region. So here, proposals should demonstrate a clear showcase for large investment, leveraging private finance with a high ambition in the energy savings, and they should look into organizational innovation, into financial engineering. They should provide a detailed analysis of what is the starting point and what is the aim, or what they are looking for in this pipeline of investments. And they really need to provide evidence before the end of the project that the pipeline of investments is committed, let's say. So in this topic, we look for a leverage, or we ask for a leverage factor, which means that for every million of EU funding that we support, projects should ensure to trigger 15 million in energy-related investments, except for work on residential buildings, where the ambition is a bit lower. So in terms of sectors, proposals here could work on many different areas. So the sector is not prescriptive on this. They could address public buildings or private housing, or infrastructure such as district heating and cooling networks, urban mobility, industry, communities, small and also small-scale renewable energy and storage, for example. And if I move to the next block, which is closely related to this previous one, because it's still on investments, but here it's a specificity on private finance. So here we are looking to increase the amount of private finance that is allocated to energy efficiency and to small-scale renewable energy. And the objective is setting up innovative financing schemes which allow to channel private finance into these sustainable energy investments, which can also mean blending and using public funds to catalyze private finance. And innovative finance could be articulated in many ways, like, for example, on energy performance contracting, but also in the form of guarantees or other de-risking schemes, or more specific instruments. So this is one of the topics where applications from a single country are possible, and actually this is a novelty of this year's call, because in the past the topic was asking as well a minimum of 3 eligible countries to participate in proposals. And it's important to have a focus on energy efficiency, even if renewables are also targeted, but it always has to be in combination with energy efficiency. And you need to look here into the structuring the investment projects. So really the financial schemes proposed and developed are operational at the end of the project and ready to finance projects on a large scale. And moving on to the fourth block of topics, here we have the section on citizens in the clean energy transition. And in this area of work, Live CET is supporting 2 main areas of work. One is on alleviating household energy poverty, and the second one is on supporting energy communities. So in the topic that relates to energy poverty, we want to support efforts to ensure that vulnerable consumers have access to essential energy services. And this topic aims to support also member states comply with the requirements in the Energy Efficiency Directive to prioritize energy efficiency measures for energy poor households. And under this topic this year, we propose 2 different scopes of action. One is policy and coordination support to public authorities and stakeholders. So here we are looking for proposals that support public authorities and societal intermediaries, which are usually close to vulnerable consumers, in setting up cross-sectorial coordination structures to tackle energy poverty. And this could include, for example, the setting up of energy poverty observatories, but could also go beyond this, as long as it's actions that support public authorities implementing the energy poverty related provisions in the Energy Efficiency Directive. And the second scope is asking to provide support for the renovation of residential multi-apartment buildings, and of course with a specific target on energy poor inhabitants. So here the focus is also on reinforcing decision-making structures of building managers and homeowners or tenant associations, removing legal and financial barriers, and setting up support services for this specific type of setting. And there's, let's say, an overarching recommendation for this topic, and is that this year we are encouraging proposals to to focus actions on alleviating summer energy poverty, as long as it is relevant. This is, of course, more relevant in some countries than in others. And we are also asking proposals to focus on areas which are maybe less developed in terms of their energy poverty alleviation strategies. And then if we move on for ENERCOM, which stands for Energy Communities, this is also a topic that we have had open for some time. So we have supported quite some projects under this area. And at the moment and in the last years at local level and many regional and municipal actors have started or are interested in supporting the emergence or the growth of energy communities in their territories. And here we are looking proposals that support these actors indeed in developing energy communities. So we are asking for support services to local or regional governments, energy agencies, or other relevant actors. But here we really encourage proposals to address umbrella energy community organizations, so federations or associations of energy cooperatives that could involve as well mutualizing or sharing of services. And we ask also for, as I said in previous topics, we don't want just projects that provide generic information and advice or guidance materials or online platforms for reference. We really want direct technical support with personalized advice through the different phases of project development for these support services and for these energy communities. And the topic has specificity this year as well, and it's that we also want to prioritize proposals that focus in areas where energy communities are less developed, also for the reason that we have supported already many projects, or that are focusing on activities that are less advanced, where really few community experiences exist. Most energy communities focus on PV, on solar energy these days. So we are also interested in supporting other areas like heating and cooling, building renovation, or flexibility action. And I keep moving on to the next block, which is dealing with decarbonization of buildings and heating and cooling. So here we have two topics. The first one is has the identifier Better Reno. So this is really specifically on buildings, and the focus is on making building renovation faster, deeper, more affordable, smarter, service and data driven. So it's quite broad, but overall it's helping with the implementation of the vision for a decarbonized building stock that was set in the renovation wave and in the revised energy performance of buildings directive. So here we propose two scopes for action that are kind of different. So we ask proposals to focus on one. And the first, it aims to foster energy renovation and competitiveness. So here we are asking proposals to deploy strategies and business models for renovation that can be replicable and implemented and that can address many buildings in terms of quantity, that can aggregate demand, and that can facilitate high quality renovations with performance guarantees. And we also have an area under this scope that is asking specifically to support companies in the construction sector to move towards more industrialized approaches. So to integrate more prefabrication and more digitalized practices in their business activity, so they can improve their productivity and renovate faster with lower costs and better quality. And the second scope has a focus on building instruments, data, and services. So on improving availability, quality, and accuracy of buildings data. And when I refer to building instruments, maybe this wording, it's a bit cryptic, but I refer to information tools like energy performance certificates, renovation passports, the smart readiness indicator. So we are really looking for proposals that enhance the reliability and the consistency of these instruments, and that besides providing better access to these instruments and to buildings data, they also promote the use of this data to deploy energy service and energy services and financial models for energy services that can be more robust in the building sector. And the next topic, so similarly to previous years, we support district heating and cooling operators and owners. So the Energy Efficiency Directive has also specific criteria for efficient district heating and cooling, and existing networks will need to modernize and evolve to meet these criteria. So we are looking here for proposals that support in preparing and implementing investment plans so existing district heating networks can become efficient district heating and cooling networks as defined in the directive. And this is one scope of the topic, but we are also asking proposals that they could work on new district heating and cooling networks. So here it's really working with municipalities and with the relevant key stakeholders in developing investment plans for these new networks, always if they are based on renewable energy or waste heat. And I think I move on now to the last block of topics, which is on building skills and capacity for industry and the service sector. So we have one topic, which is build skills. The Build Up Skills initiative has been running for many years as well, and it's supporting innovative approaches for the upskilling and reskilling of building professionals, so in the construction sector across Europe. And the main objective here is to increase the number of skilled building professionals at all levels. And in the past, this topic supported the development of national skills roadmaps that would articulate these upskilling actions, as well as set platforms that would gather all the key national stakeholders that need to be involved in the development of this framework for reskilling and upskilling the workforce. And in a first phase, all European member states developed such a platform and a roadmap, including Slovenia at the time. More recently, 15 member states had the opportunity to expand their platform and to update their roadmaps. I was made aware that specifically Slovenia did not update the roadmap in the last years, so you are really very welcome to submit a proposal to this topic under scope B, which would be to relaunch this national platform and animate this structure of stakeholders to craft a new updated national roadmap that reflects the current situation and needs. And if you apply to this topic, please read very carefully the text, because it has some requirements, new requirements, let's say, compared to previous years. Specifically, we are asking, for example, for a large-scale national communication campaign to promote energy efficiency professions. And this is really not an add-on or a side activity to the project. It's requested by the directive, and it should be an important part of the proposal, for example. And if I move to the very last topic, which is industry, we are here supporting two scopes. One is on strengthening the collaboration between producers and manufacturers of clean energy technology. So here we want to trigger discussions on how to best deploy certain technologies in certain sectors or in certain processes. So manufacturers of technology can deploy a more standardized offer that it's applicable widely through a specific sector. And when needed, also the processes or the sector can think on how to adapt their processes to integrate this technology. So this is really about establishing this collaboration, understanding what is needed, and establishing the proper business model and enabling a faster market uptake. While the scope B, it aims at fostering energy cooperation among industries in proximity. So here we are looking into industrial areas where there would be potential for implementing energy exchanges at cluster level, for example, for recovery and use of waste heat, or where companies could look into sharing energy-related services or energy infrastructure, why not, for renewable energy generation or storage. So here we also want to provide support to actors that would like to develop pipelines of projects in their industrial areas. And important also for this topic, if you're familiar with it, in the past, we have been supporting specifically Article 11 of the Energy Efficiency Directive for the uptake of energy audits and energy management systems. But this year, this scope is not open. So we are really focusing here on the industry aspects that I mentioned. So you need to be careful if you intend to resubmit again a proposal. And I hope you follow, because it was a bit dense in terms of information. I wanted to give maybe one example of project in Slovenia, but instead of giving one example, what I did was to search in CINEA public dashboard, where we have basically all the projects that are funded in our programs. You have there below the link if you want to investigate. But for Slovenia, there are 33 active projects at the moment ongoing. So you are or you have been quite active in the program, and I just included here for your reference some projects that are ongoing on different areas of work, and that have activities in your country, and where Slovenian entities are involved, either as participants or as coordinators. So if you are interested in a particular area, maybe you can have a look to see what is being done already at the moment. And yeah, again, as I said before, I would recommend that you watch the videos, the recordings from the European Info Day, where we have more detailed presentations for every topic that I just covered briefly. And if you want also to get the latest updates on energy policy at EU level, I think EUSEF, the European Sustainable Energy Week, is a very good opportunity. You can attend on site, but you can also follow all of the sessions online. So if you want to understand better what is going on and which are the most pressing priorities in terms of policy in a specific area, I would invite you to check the program and to register for these sessions. Also, a last call that if you are not applying, but you have expertise in one of these specific topics, maybe you can work for us as an expert and support us in evaluating the proposals that we will receive. So if you are interested, you will need to register in our database. You have the link on this in the funding and tenders portal. You have on this slide how to find it. And usually we search in this database with keywords, and we have thousands of people registered there. So I would recommend that you really take the time to populate your profile with the specific keywords and the work you have done. And if you are interested in evaluating a particular topic, you could even include the topic identifier. So like this, we would find you very, very easily. And that's all from my side. I would invite you also, if you have in the future more specific questions, to use our functional mailbox, which is shown on the screen, CINEA Live CET. So the colleague that is in charge of a specific topic can come back to you with more specific advice or replies, and also, of course, to refer to your live national contact point for support or help. Thank you, and I remain available now also if you have any burning questions.
Okay, yes, thank you for a very informative and thorough presentation, Anna. I would like to ask if anyone has any questions. Yes.
My question is related to clean energy, renewable energy lab. What would you suggest for a large company that is aiming to invest in renewable energy project and storage? What aspect here could be co-finance? As far as I understood, presentation of specific calls is basically only the technical assistance for the project development pipeline, since no infrastructure, no equipment, basically financed here. Am I correct?
Indeed, I hope it's not very good the sound from the place you're asking, but I hope I understood the question. So indeed, we are not funding equipment or infrastructure. No, it's only very limited, and if it's very well justified. But I think you were referring specifically to the innovative finance topic. So yeah, there is more on the finance framework, let's say, and on identifying potentially the pipeline of projects and the developments that could be covered, at least in the initial parts of these works. But and in other topics, we could also provide yes, the technical assistance to develop certain projects, to develop feasibility studies, to connect all the stakeholders needed. So this sort of governance and support framework, but we would not fund the equipment for this. You need to refer to other programs. Yeah.
Thank you.
I also have a short question. Do you maybe know if the policy topic will also be included in the call for 2026? Because I'm afraid that 4 months is not enough for us to prepare a proposal.
I don't know at the moment. It's been there every year, so in principle, yes, but it also changes in terms of which directive it covers. So this year, for example, it's covering only renewable energy directive, while in previous years it has covered the 3 directives. So I really can't tell at this stage what will be opened next year. So yeah, I would, if you really want the support, I would encourage you to try to prepare a proposal for this year if you are interested in support for those specific areas of work that are mentioned.
Okay, Anna, I think that will be all for the questions from our side. Thank you again very much for your informative presentation, and I hope you have a nice day.
Thank you very much. I leave you then with the rest of the session.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.